So we get the infection rate down, and then because other states are high, we could have a problem. This country has to wake up and smell the coffee, right? And let's realize the facts that are going on as we sit here this morning. Because my father's great speech, Tale of Two Cities, you now have a tale of two countries going on. You have two very different situations happening in states across this country. Some states, the numbers are going down. Some states, the numbers are going up. Why? Same country, same virus. Why? The federal government's attitude is an undeniable mistake when it has come to dealing with COVID. Their guidance, their doctrine is an undeniable mistake. It is a political theory, a public relations theory, versus a science-based, fact-based theory. The White House, from the day one, has been operating on a pure political ideology. We should reopen, get the economy going. Government shouldn't be slowing down the economy. It was all political. It was all public relations. Based on what fact? Based on what science? None. It was all political ideology. We said here in New York, this is not about politics. Virus never said to me it's a Democrat. Virus never said it's a Republican. No test ever said that. Dealing with a virus is a matter of science. It's a matter of fact. That's how you deal with a disease. You don't deal with it politically. And you now see states that have dealt with it politically versus states that have dealt with it on a science, fact basis. And you see the virus spreading in states that have an unmanaged reopening. Well, because they always have an excuse, it's not really increasing. The number of tests are increasing. I don't even know what that means. More testing does not mean the viral spread is increasing. You know how you know that they're being disingenuous? The number of people in those states who are getting sick is increasing. Forget the numbers. More people are walking into hospitals. They're not walking into hospitals because they're feeling well. You walk into a hospital when you're sick. And the number of people who are getting infected and getting sick and walking into a hospital is going up in these states. Undeniably. And you can go state by state. It's Arizona, it's Texas, it's Florida, it's North Carolina, it's South Carolina, it's Utah, it's Montana, it's Alaska. It's 20 states are on the increase. And then compare that to New York, where we are on the decrease, day after day after day. We've been on the decrease for the past 60 days. 2 months of decline, they're going up now. How do you explain that? What happened with this virus? What happened with this pandemic? From the get-go, was always going to be dependent on what we did. There was no preordained path. There was no preordained curve. Nobody knew. I spoke to every expert on the globe. Nobody knew. Second myth, listening to them last night. All the projection models were wrong. No, the projection models weren't wrong, because the projection models were never projection models. The projection models were really extrapolation models. What does that mean? The projection models never said, this is what's going to happen in New York. The projection model said, if this is what you do, this is what will happen. It's not really a projection. If this is what you do, this is what will happen. That's what the models did. If you tell me you are losing 1 pound per day, they say, I will tell you you're going to lose 7 pounds per week. If you tell me you're going to lose 2 pounds per day, I'll tell you you're going to lose 14 pounds per week. Yeah, thank you. But it's all based on what we said we were going to do. The White House knew this. March 31st, their White House coronavirus task force. What's going to happen with the COVID virus? Oh, 2 options, depending on what you do. Option 1, best case scenario with mitigation. What is mitigation? Close down, social distancing, wear a mask, hand sanitizer, all those mitigation efforts that the states without reopening plans, without a managed reopening, they have no mitigation. The White House says, with mitigation, 100 to 240,000 deaths. If this nation uses mitigation. If you don't use mitigation, 1.5 to 2.2 million deaths. The White House said it. The White House said it. To the extent the White House lets science speak, ever, to the extent they have science in the White House, they said, if you mitigate, 100 to 240. If you don't, 1.5 to 2.2. And then their reopening plans don't provide for mitigation. Well, then by your own projection, what did you think was going to happen? That's why the CDC and Dr. Fauci are in such a difficult position, because they said, without mitigation, you're going to kill 1 million more people. They said that. And now they're part of a federal government that is telling states, just reopen, just reopen, just reopen. Contrary to their own science, because they abandoned it. The model that they rely on, which is the Gates-funded IHME model. Last week, they projected 169,000 deaths by October. Last week. This week, the projection changed. 200,000 deaths. Why did the projection change? They'll say on Fox TV, not to pick any particular network, the model was wrong. No, the model wasn't wrong. The model isn't a model. It's an extrapolation. They're saying by this number of deaths last week, which is now increasing, we extrapolate to tell you more people are going to die. Based on what you did and what you're doing and the rate of death you're causing, factor that out, factor out what you are doing, more people are dying. Because of what you are doing, more people are dying. This is the model the White House relies on. That model says, because of what you are doing, the number of people who are going to die by October increased 18%. 30,000 more people are going to die because of what you're doing. That's what they say to you. And then the question is, what do you say, America, when they tell you 30,000 more people are going to die because of what you're doing. Do you keep doing it? Do you keep doing it? Or do you say, I don't want 30,000 more people to die. I'm going to change what we're doing. That's why I say, wake up, America. Look at what they're telling you. This is not rhetorical, conceptual, hyperbolic. They told you. Based on what you're doing last week, 30,000 more people are going to die. This is New York. I want someone to put this up at my eulogy. PowerPoint eulogy. Make a note. You're going to be there. Be the first time Rob smiles, I think. These were the projections in New York. Gates funded IHME, said 73,000 people would be hospitalized. Columbia said 136,000 people, just in New York City. This is Columbia University. We're not talking about a mail-away matchbook university here. McKinsey, 110,000. McKinsey moderate with mitigation, 55,000. What actually happened? 18,000. They were all wrong. No. We changed what we were doing. We changed what we were doing. What they were saying is, if you keep doing what you're doing, and that transmission rate continues, you're going to have, you factor it out, you extrapolate out, 73, 136, 110, that's what's going to happen. We said in New York, that's what's going to happen? Then we're going to change what we're doing. We're going to change. We don't want that to happen. We don't want those people to die. We changed it to 18,000, a fraction, because we changed what we did. You're talking about tens of thousands of lives. Tens of thousands of lives. What are you going to do, America? They're telling you, based on what you're doing, you're killing more Americans. 30,000 more projection in 1 week. This is what we did. We changed. We changed what we were doing, and we saved tens of thousands of lives. And that's what America should do. There are two different visions that we're talking about. One is based on science and fact. One is based on political ideology and public relations and politics. And the results are in New York. It's working. We're saving lives. The virus is down. The rest of the nation, it's going up. At the end of the day, New York tough works.